for all those people who are joining virtually for the Shell Day 2 of Demo Day. Myself, Vishnu Narahari, I'm the deployment manager of Shell Eco Startup Hub. I have Bharat with me, who is one of the co-founder of the RezLytix, who is working on one of the innovative technology of AI and ML based startup of providing the reservoir analytics to the oil and gas industry. So as you have already listened to the demo of RezLytix, we could have a round of Q&A to the RezLytix on some of the questions or some of the things that are actually trying to solve the problems through AI to our industry. So welcome Bharat, good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
So
Vishnu. Great to be
let's
part
yeah.
of Shelly for. Yeah.
So let's start with Bharat. Thanks. There are like couple of questions, that are there from the audience on your startup. So they would like to know like what is the main value proposition of your technology, and also what is the competitive advantage over existing conventional technologies that are available. And there are so many such kind of multiple AI-based technologies that are trying to provide these kind of analytics in terms of like the reservoir forecasting or even drilling in this area.
Right. So that's a great question. So we are a machine learning and software company that we are specializing in automation through deep learning and machine learning technology. So the main pain points that we address, right, with the pain points that are faced by the oil and gas industry are the low resolution process seismic data and the declining reservoir productivity, right? So our technology, so we provide the necessary enhancement in resolution and information, and we couple that with an accurate prediction of recoverables, and thus helping our customers improve their productivity and achieve tangible cost savings. So our USP is really that our AI powered technology can enhance resolution from 3 to 5 times compared to our competitors, and our production forecasting technology leads to a good standardization of workflows as opposed to the manual workflows which are used in the industry for production forecasting, right? And apart from that, so the competing technologies in this space of resolution enhancement and production forecasting, so they have built in several assumptions which may not be valid in diverse geological settings, right? So our technology, being AI powered and deep learning powered, has done away with a lot of these assumptions, and it's in that way ensuring wide applicability. So the why would resolution be important, right? So resolution is really key towards achieving good forecasting, because just to get a sense, right? So let's just imagine that the subsurface reservoir, right, is the size basically of the room that you're sitting in, right? And it's at a depth of 5,000 meters. And to hit this reservoir, so we are drilling a 5-inch hole, and we need to hit the middle of this room, right, with the 5-inch drill, 5-inch borewell, right? And what is the data that guides your drill path? The data that guides this path has a resolution of 25 meters, which is really not acceptable. It leads to the reservoir and important components of the reservoir being unseen. So with our resolution enhancement technology, we are able to improve, right, this by 3 to 5 times. So let's say up to 5 meters, and that really helps the oil and gas companies to optimize their drill paths. So just let me know if you need to come in more on this.
There is a similar follow-up question on this, as we have talked about like resolution enhancement. So I'm taking another question, even though it's not directly on your resolution enhancement, just being like as this technologies and resolution enhancement. There are questions relevant to this is like, what are your target application areas? Is it like only focused to the oil and gas, or do you see yourself this technology can be applied to other industry verticals?
So while currently our projects and our work has been focused in the oil and gas sector, but we do have plans to move into kind of sister industries, and these include, for instance, the mining industry, geothermals, right, and carbon capture, carbon storage solutions. So these are some of the industries which with very similar problem statements, problems as the oil industry does, and our resolution enhancement can really add value to these sister industries in understanding the subsurface and characterizing it at high resolution. So we do have plans to move into this sister industry, but at the moment we are focused on the E&P sector.
Right, understood that. Another relevant question on some of the areas that you talked about, enhancing the productivity. So there is a question on how do you ensure that the extra productivity through your insight you are able to give to the customer does not have any adverse environmental impact?
Right. So first of all, I think this was a two-part question. So the first part was how do you ensure the enhancement in productivity, and the second part is more on the safe drilling, right? So safe production. So the first part of the question is that so with our drilling paths and with our drill path predictions, we can provide a quantifiable quantitative estimate of the recoverables, right, that can be produced following the drill paths, right? So not only do we provide optimal drill paths, but we also provide quantitative estimates of recoverables. And so we did this as a project for one of our customers in US. And if you're interested in more details, you can write to me, you can get in touch with me, and I'll be happy to provide more details, right? So it was a proven case of increase in recoverables that was achieved by kind of adapting this technology, which led to this optimized drill paths, right? And the second aspect is how do we ensure that this drilling is safe, right, and environmentally friendly way. So we don't really provide any real engineering drilling solutions as such. So we are restricting ourselves to optimal drill paths. So it is the responsibility of the drillers, and these drillers are responsible in extracting the hydrocarbons in a safe and sustained manner, right? But we do provide a comprehensive picture of the subsurface, right, with the underlying properties and the subsurface structures, so that the engineers and the drillers can make informed decisions as far as the safety of the drilling is concerned.
Great. So there's another question. I mean, as you said that like currently your target market is oil and gas industry, especially on the E&P. So what has been your experience being selling to some of these large oil and gas industry players? And how did what was your customer response, or what did your customers feel about leveraging your solution?
So over the past year that we've been part of Shell E4, we have received a lot of interest in our technology from major oil and gas companies. And we have done pilot projects in India and South America, where we applied our technologies to the real world problems, and the response was very positive. Our customers really liked the enhancement in resolution that we were able to provide in terms of predicting the subsurface properties. So we were very successful in predicting the subsurface properties at well resolution, which is extremely important in order to make informed decisions. So I think our main USP really was the enhancement in the resolution that RezLytix was able to provide with these to our customers. And if for specific details about the pilot projects that we've done, please get in touch with me. Please write to me.
Thanks for that. I think just like if some of you from the audience, if you have joined a bit later into this meeting, so I'd request for those audience who would have joined Bharat, like give them like a brief introduction about RezLytix. Then we have like a lot of other questions and answers that we can take as a follow-up of your introduction.
Right. So hello everyone. So RezLytix is a software and service company that specializes in automation through machine learning and deep learning technologies in the upstream oil and gas sector. So through our technology, we address the key pain points of the industry, which are basically low resolution process seismic data and declining reservoir productivity. Our technology provides the enhancement in resolution and information, and it is coupled with our accurate production forecasting technology, predicting the recoverables, and we help our customers improve the well productivity and achieve savings thereby. Our main USP is that our AI-powered technology enhances the resolution by 3 to 5 times, and it is really key to achieve this enhancement in resolution for accurate production forecasting workflows. Right, and another of our key USP is that compared to competing technologies in the market in the resolution enhancement space, we have done away with several of the assumptions which the competitors use, which may not be valid in diverse geological settings. And our technology is data driven, and it is machine learning and deep learning driven. So it's done away with those assumptions, and it ensures wide applicability in a variety of geological settings. So I'll be happy to take any questions that you may have on any of these aspects.
Yeah, there are a few follow-up questions on that. And before going to a Q&A, a gentle reminder, if there are any investors in this room, I request you to please head to the investor room, and there is a separate session that is going on for all those investors. This is a gentle reminder for all those investors. If you are being part of this call, please head to the investor room. Yeah. So there is another question. From Parthasarathi from Shell. How do you handle the data confidentiality and the data transfer restrictions? Because there's a lot of the subsurface and geophysical data is highly treated as either restricted or confidential data, which they are not willing to share with the third parties. And sometimes, like a couple of countries who have these oil and gas assets, they would not like to share this data outside their country.
So that's a really important question, and in fact, we are currently having talks with an oil and gas major, and we are exactly addressing this problem. The data need not leave the company, so we can deploy our solutions from within the company's servers or cloud platform or any of the infrastructure that the oil and gas company may have. So we need not export or take the data from the company to deploy our solutions. It can work from within the infrastructure that the company has. And yeah, so once again, so if there are any more specific questions, right? If you need specific details, please contact me, and I'll let you know.
Yeah. So another question on your pricing and business model. So what's like your business model and your pricing model? What is your advantage on your pricing with regards to your other competitors, and how do you differentiate with respect to your competitor?
Right. So as far as the business model is concerned, so we are at an early stage SaaS, software as a service, and we are looking towards so being so using the SaaS model for the next year at least. And with respect to the pricing, I would say that you'd have to get in touch with me to or our CEO Deep Nanda to get more information on the pricing. Our USP compared to the competitors is really in as far as the technology goes, in resolution enhancement, that we are able to do verifiable resolution enhancement by 3 to 5 times, and that as compared to competing technologies, we don't have their baked in assumptions, that our methodology is data driven, right? So that is our key USP as far as the technology is concerned. The competitiveness with respect to pricing, yes, please do get in touch with us. We'll be looking forward to hearing from you.
Talked about like resolution enhancement. So where are you on that? What is the current stage of your technology, and when do you think to plan to deploy to a full scale and de-risk this entire technology?
Pardon me, I couldn't get the second part of the question.
I mean, yeah, I mean, when do you plan to enter to the market? I mean, what we understood said like a pilot scale. So when do you plan to enter the market with your software?
So we are already in the market in the sense of providing solutions as early SaaS, and by next year we are going to do a soft launch of our products, and these products include what we call Storm, which is our resolution enhancement software, and Strike, right, which is our subsurface property inversion software. And along with that, we are planning to launch a product known as IRA, or Intelligent Reservoir Assistant, which is basically a voice and chat automated, text automated assistant, AI powered assistant, which can do automation of various workflows for the oil industry. So the planned launch into the market is early next year, in the middle of the year, and by the end of the year we should have a full commercial launch of our products.
Thanks, Bharat. Before again going to the next question, again it's a gentle reminder for any of those investors who are in this audience, please do head to the investor room. There is a separate investor focus session that is happening. Yeah. Thanks for that. And let's go to the next question. I think there have been a lot of questions around the data restrictions and data transfer related to this oil and gas field. So there is a question from Srijit from Shell. How is this working as a SaaS model when there are restrictions for oil field related data transfer, as the oil field data could be owned by the country as per some of the country laws?
Right. So so as I mentioned earlier, so we don't really require any data to be with us physically to process them or to deploy our solutions with. So we can port our basically our software into the company's servers, right, regardless of the architecture that they're using, in order to provide and deploy our solutions on the data which may reside physically in South America or Middle East or wherever it may be. So and also our products are cloud agnostic, so they can work in any sort of a cloud environment. So based on the whatever is the environment that the oil and gas company has with their cloud platforms, right? So we can go in there and deploy our solutions. So it should not be a problem with data transfer. that we don't need to have access to the data physically in RezLytix servers.
Yeah, understood. Thanks for that clarification again. So as a follow-up question, bit on broadening on the future strategy, what are the future markets that you are looking to expand into, and why are those future markets, and how do you think that it is related, some of these markets, if you have to pick?
So we are currently in the middle of some talks with companies in Middle East and the United States as far as the E&P sector is concerned. And so as I mentioned, we've done projects in India and South America, and we are looking to move towards move into other markets, particularly Middle East and US, with whom many companies from those markets are already in talks with us. And in the future, we would like to move into sister industries, for example, mining and geothermal industry, as well as now that into carbon storage, geological carbon storage. So these are some of the industries which face the similar problems as oil and gas. So in terms of understanding the subsurface properties and structure in high resolution, and that is where we see our growth, right? And so within the oil and gas sector, I think there's a market opening up in terms of digitalization, right? And that's an exciting opportunity as well. So I would say our AI-powered products really can grow into the space of digitization in the oil and gas industry.
Yeah. Just again, like for the benefit of any new audience who would have joined while doing our Q&A, I mean, if there are any audience here who are the investors, please head to the investor rooms. There is another session that is going on. And before taking again any new question and answer, again I request Bharat to give a high-level overview about RezLytix for some of those audience who might have joined a bit late into this session, and then we can have a follow-up Q&A post that.
So hello again. So RezLytix is a software and a service company that specializes in automation through deep learning, and we address problems of the upstream oil and gas industry. And the particular problems that we address are the problem of low resolution in seismic data and declining productivity in terms of the wells. And how do we address this technology? Our AI-powered platform enhances the resolution by a factor of 3 to 5 times, and it is coupled to our production forecasting workflows, which can provide accurate estimates of drill paths and associated recoverables, which can be obtained by drilling along those drill paths. And we are also bringing in our USP is that our resolution enhancing technology does not have the assumptions which are built into our competitors' products, and our product is applicable in a wide variety of geological settings, as it's primarily a data-driven methodology. And so resolution enhancement is really a key in order to enhance the recoverables from an oil field. And I'll be happy to explain more if there are any follow-up questions.
So there's a follow-up question on that, Bharat. Like, how exactly is like company like RezLytix is helping the oil and gas industry in the E&P space?
So oil companies make the drilling decisions based on combination of data sets, and these combinations include surface seismic, geological data, and log data. And the seismic data that the oil companies have, so they are poor in resolution when compared to the desired resolution. So the seismic data which the oil companies have, so their resolution is really 25 meters, whereas our reservoirs are very thin, and they may span up to, say, vertical extent of 5 meters. So which is really, the height of the room that I'm sitting in, right? And it's at a great depth in the subsurface, and we need to hit this reservoir and produce from it, right, with a 5-inch wide bore well that is being drilled. And it's important that this drill path is guided by accurate and highly resolved data. And what we are doing is that with our AI powered technology, we are providing the resolution at this scale. So it comes up to 3 to 5 meters, and that is combined with our production forecasting workflow, and that helps us to accurately predict the recoverables, right? And the current industry standard is really it comes. So this, what I explained, the process is really interpreter driven. It's very manual, and it's not standardized. So what we are bringing in is a shift from these manual workflows into automated standardized workflows in order to drill with high precision. And so that is where we see us RezLytix helping oil and gas industry, in that we can provide these optimized solutions and estimates of recoverables at a high resolution, and help oil and gas companies to post tangible savings.
And just a relevant follow-up question on this. Can you tell some of those problems that you have solved with your existing customers?
Yeah, correct. So currently, with some of the existing customers that we have solved, so we have brought in, so both the problems have been in terms of the resolution enhancement and predicting subsurface properties at the scale of log data, right? So what is the scale of log data? So log data are acquired every 15 centimeters in the subsurface. And as I mentioned earlier, seismic data has a resolution of tens of meters, so 20, 25 meters, right? So with our technology, with the current problems, we have managed, right? So we have achieved the prediction of subsurface properties at a scale of 3 to 5 meters, right? So predicting these properties at this scale. And also we have achieved increased resolution in the seismic data, right, which was really appreciated by our customers in order to make it help them make informed decisions about the production from their reservoirs.
Right, understood. I mean, I have like a question which is like partly like 2 or 3 questions. Let me break this question into 2-3 parts. How is the validation of your proprietary high resolution undertaken in terms of technical accuracy?
So with the validation, so the validation has been achieved by comparison with the ground truth, right? And what is the ground truth? So the ground truth is really the well that was drilled by the oil and gas company. So oil and gas companies drill several wells in the subsurface, and they measure the subsurface properties at a very fine scale, right? And so we with our projects, so what we did was to use some of the well data to predict the subsurface property along with seismic data, of course. And the client themselves performed this comparison of our predicted properties with their wells. So it was really a blind validation, and we were able to see that with a blind validation, we were able to get a match. And so far we have gotten matches with these several blind wells at a very high accuracy. So all the blind well matches have come out really well when the client compared our solution with what they had. And that is really, so the proof of pudding is really the comparison with the ground truth, which is really the well data.
Great. Great. I think a follow-up question on this, on the validation in terms of the technical accuracy. There's another follow-up question on this is that, has been your solution cross-checked with other manually interpreted resolution data and independent validation if it has been undertaken? And is this validation available for customers who want to use your services?
Yes, absolutely. So our solutions have been cross-checked by our clients. So one of the projects that we have done, so the client had the solution from the competitors which was available, and it was cross-checked with our offering, and they were happy with our with the results that we were able to achieve. And so it is possible to cross-check with other interpretive workflows, and we do provide, in addition to our deep learning powered products, we can, also for the sake of comparison, compare it with the current industry standards in terms of manual with these solutions which have a lot of assumptions built into them. So we can provide the comparisons, right? So as if you have a specific question or specific comparison or specific question in mind, please do get in touch with me.
Yeah. What are the question on something on input to your solution? What are the different types of data that you need to make your solution work, or what are the different types of data that you deal with, which are input into your model?
So currently we work with we can work with 2D and 3D seismic data sets, so pre-stack and post-stack, and we can work with well and engineering data sets. So for our product offerings, which are basically a resolution enhancement and production forecasting.
Good. So another question here is like, what is your current traction?
So currently, we've received a lot of interest from major oil and gas companies, and so we've done projects, and we've been able to add value through these projects with our customers from South America and India. And we are currently in the middle of talks with companies in the Middle East and the United States, and we are looking to expand into these markets.
Just before taking another question, a gentle reminder again, if there are any investors who are listening to the session, please do head to the investor room. There is a separate session going on by RezLytix only on the investor meet. Yeah. So some of the follow-up questions on this. Why is this resolution or enhancing this resolution is such a kind of a painful problem to be solved? And is your USP is in the enhancement of resolution, or is your USP in providing insights with this resolution enhancement?
So I would say it's both, right? So it's kind of a linked problem in the sense that So I'm answering the second part of the question. So the USP is that the resolution really matters because many of the subsurface reservoirs can be compartmentalized, and you can have hydrocarbons trapped in very thin regions. So it is important that the resolution brings out these otherwise unseen parts of the subsurface reservoir into something which can be interpreted by geologists and engineers, right? So our USP is in enhancing resolution of the data set, right? And this the enhanced resolution of the data helps us to provide, right, meaningful insights into into the reservoir, right, into the problem that the client is facing. So it's really linked, that, and these two things are coupled: the resolution enhancement and the interpretation of the subsurface in high resolution. And the first question was, why is resolution important, isn't it? Right. So resolution is important because
what's the main USP of enhancing resolution? Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Right. So in the so our main USP is that we provide the resolution enhancement technology that we have is AI powered, right, and it's data driven. It's not based on any set of assumptions, which may not hold in a variety of geological settings. So our technique, being assumption agnostic, and it is not based on any particular model. It can adapt to a variety of settings and bring about a real enhancement in the data resolution.
Yeah, I mean, there are few a bit of strategy questions, long term related. What are like your business risk? What can fail for you if the market does not accept your technology the way you anticipate?
Okay, so the business risk. So in the sense of where the oil and gas industry is, so we are going through a transformation in terms of digitization, right, and kind of reduction of manual workflows. And I believe we really have an important value proposition in terms of standardization of these workflows and in creating value with our enhancement with our production forecasting and resolution enhancement. So what is the risk involved with the technologies? So I would say that the oil and gas companies are looking to extract more from less, that they are looking to kind of optimize whatever wells that they have drilled, that the production needs to be optimized. And I think that is where our solution fits in terms of getting the best out of fewer wells drilled in that sense.
Yeah. So where do you see yourself then in the next 5 years?
So in the next 5 years, we would like to move more into the digitization space. So as I mentioned, we are planning to so soft launch our intelligent reservoir assistant IRA. So that would be voice and text driven, and it will act like a reservoir assistant that can standardize several workflows, helping the interpreter, helping the subsurface scientist do achieve, right, more in less time, in the sense of handling all the clunky softwares and pulling out the data, doing these automated workflows, of course being guided by the expert, so that the expert can really derive value from the data, right, without spending a lot of time getting involved in clunky workflows, and that is where we see ourselves in helping the digital acceleration in the oil and gas industry.
Another interesting question in the times of energy transition. So, how do you see your company in this midst of energy transition and the kind of current challenges the oil and gas industry is facing, where there is a more shift towards the renewables? How do you see your company to position yourself to work in the oil and gas industry?
Yeah, so this shift towards renewables and this energy transition is bringing a lot of demand for automation, and it's going to happen. It's going to kick off at an exponential pace, and this is where our company can really provide some real value in terms of providing automated workflows and bringing in bringing in value, right, through the intelligent reservoir assistant, and in providing a digital twin for your reservoir, where you have a reservoir and there's a digital twin of it that mimics the reservoir in a digital sense. So that is where we see ourselves in the next 5 years, that we do see that there'll be more of a demand for automation in this transforming oil and gas business.
And very interesting thought on this automation. So, what's your view, or a company like you working in this field of AI-based techniques? Where do you see the trend of this AI going, especially in the E&P? Do you see companies adapting more of these technologies and replacing their workflows? Or is it more of these solutions are helping to build the insights to take the quality decisions by the workforce in oil and gas?
Yeah, so adoption of this AI technologies is really going to bring in a lot of value for oil and gas companies to make informed decisions and to reduce errors in manual processes, and it's going to really create values and help the industry professionals to make the optimal decisions and to guess to get the best out of the AI in terms of reducing errors and increasing confidence in the workflows.
Great. Thanks for this, Bharat. And it has been a lovely session interacting with you to know about RezLytix. Thanks for your time. And if there are any other questions who are from the audience, if you are not able to answer through them, please do drop your questions in this chat box, and we will help you to connect to the RezLytix. And if any of those audience who would like to connect to the RezLytix, please do drop a message. We can then connect to you offline for this conversation. Very good interaction, great conversation. It has been a lot of insightful knowing about your technology. I mean, how AI is helping a lot of this conventional nature of E&P industry of oil and gas. Great. And I really wish you all the best for your team, Bharat and Deep, and all of your team members in your journey. Great. Thanks for your interacting and giving those insightful comments on a lot of questions that have been asked.
Thanks, Vishnu. It was a pleasure to chat with you. And if there are any questions from the members of the audience, please do write to me, and we'll be able to answer them in greater detail. It was really lovely interacting with you. Thank you, Vishnu.
Thanks. Thank you.